very favorite brush is to kind of wet. That's why I do all my blends, because it's very smooth. So I think I'm just gonna do like a sunset, some of like my ombre, but instead of doing like this, I'll do something different. Let's get started. I'll pick some colors. I love playing with different shades of blue. It's definitely like my very favorite color. The good at acrylic that you do have very unique colors that you can just mix in to make even more. And I try to not, like I use the same color palette, but I try to every single painting of mine have a different like ombre on the sky. So I try not to repeat. So that way each of the painting has a different background, you know. And I always start with the sky, because I think the sky, once you have that done, it's much easier for you to vision the whole thing and about like how you're gonna create the rest of the painting.
Right.
Some pink. That. I love this. I changed of the sections, but now it's been those two together with a little bit white, and it's really beautiful. So we got this and this. Kind of like dry out very quick. So you have to work kind of fast, especially I'm outdoors. So to do this blending, you really have to like focus on the much of water that you have in your brush and just the speed that you use as well. I'm very perfectionist on my blendings because it took so long for me to actually like get it right, that if I see one little thing that I don't like it, I'll do it the whole thing again. You just have to be very gentle the way that you use your brush. A lot of times I have to do it twice, sometimes 3 times. And I usually mix on the canvas. We'll bring some white and light this up. And then I'll put the straight color right on the middle and I'll go up and down. So that's how it will create the blend. Sometimes it looks wrong, but you just have to go on and do it. Just play around. Yeah, that's the importance of the right brush. Sometimes it's good when they're like getting wet. Like this missing spot, I should go back there. With a little bit of the wet of the water. To get that. Okay. I never really plan exactly the color. Sometimes you just get it right. But a lot of times if I go for bike rides all the time, so I do have a lot of like pictures that I take, you know, things that I see and that I use as an inspiration as well. But I like to embrace the mystery, and as I say, a lot of times I'll do the sky like multiple times to get it right. So the most important thing is don't give up. Sometimes I will see one tiny little thing that I didn't like it, I'll just go over again. Because I want it to be 100% happy, and I feel like my viewers, they can tell like if you're like really proud of what you're doing. I like to be as the best that I can. See, so I brought like a little bit of pastels, a little bit of movement where I usually don't do, just sometimes. But you know, I kind of like always trying to bring something different. So I'm gonna bring the ocean on the bottom part. So I'm trying to see what color that I'm gonna finish this up. I brought the blue back, just mix with a little bit of the yellow. Greenish, and I will go all the way to the white. Finish this with the white. Maybe a little bit of yellow here. Very calm. As much as my usage of vibrant colors, I find my paintings like it will give you a state of calmness, yeah. I think. There we go. This is the sky. It's just, you know, it's just a few blendings. I could just keep going on and on. It's never ending. Yeah, and because you need to be fast because it dries so quick. I want like a really, really, really vibrant stroke, like a really like yellow. Like I think probably like, let's see. Like something like this, and then just go and play because it will go very smooth, and just use the tip so it kind of blends it itself because you don't have much water, and you just go. So yeah, I added that up, and then you kind of play like I find like a little of the brush strokes doing that. Or if you want to do like straight line, you just go horizontal thing for me. It's a very personal thing because I think that's why I use lines and like blends and everything is kind of like straight somehow. And then most of my painting does have the horizon line, which is where the sky meets the ocean, which is such a long way. It's like an infinity. And that's where you see the possibilities, I feel. And I go for a run, and all I see is that horizon line. It's just there. It's just something so special, and it gives you a sense of destiny, kind of thing. I don't know. A lot of times I do that in my paintings, and I change the viewer's perspective as you like, you know, surf. Or if like underwater, or you know, I just love changing the perspective too. And I think like surfing, like my early ages, it really gives you that. So let's bring some more here. I'm just gonna try to finish this up. I could do just a straight line because I talk about the straight line so much. So we're gonna do that. I always use a tape for my perfect straight line because. So the horizon it's always darker in there. So it's another mix that I love. It's the purple with the blue. It's so beautiful. It's just the background, so I'm not really worried about the perfect color. I'm just making that line. The good thing about acrylic, you can always go back. I like to use smaller brushes because I have more control of how much paint I have. a lot of sometimes I work like in a schedule, and I like it, but you like rushing kind of, and I like to be like calm, really calm, you know. So I just brought some color here. Trying to bring this down a little bit and just waiting until this dry, the top part. So the way I do my waves, I kind of put a little bit of the background, so and then I just start, I don't know, filling. Then you just start creating a few brush strokes. It's fun, but I like at the beginning, I feel like I'm doing it, you feel like, what is that? It doesn't get quite right until actually like it's done. I always like to have at least one pop-up color. And this brush are the best because you can use this sideways to give you a fine line, or you can just get the whole, let's see. There's a nice green here. I love putting the straight to my canvas just because you see the colors changing. Green and blues are the word favorite color, I think. Everybody, you ask everybody, what's their favorite color? It's blue. A lot of times too, if I just don't want to do, I'll just put the whole background instead of doing what I was doing. I just put a bunch of colors on it. I always do from left to right. Always. Like for me, I was never looking for a style. It was just something that came out. So if you really, really want to do that, all I have to do is paint. Because every paint, you're going to discover something. Every single painting, you just explore the way that you use your colors and your brush, or if you want to use all different styles of tools, because you know there's so many options out there. Look for inspiration in other artists. You can like try to do the same and like doing, not copying specific, but trying to do something that is appeal to your eyes, and then you try your own way. And you know, like how I discovered like my palm trees, it was just like out of a photograph, like maybe a palm tree. I mean, I never painted a palm tree. It seemed so simple, but when I painted, I realized, I was like, wow, I can do this. Like it was so natural, it was so fast, it was like so, oops. So you have to like be paying attention to your reactions, I feel like. Right. That's why I love to be like calm. It's not always that I listen to music, because I really like to like listen to myself, you know. So it's really like, for me, it's a quiet moment when I'm painting. So I always kind of like trying to bring something from the sky for the reflection. So we have like that orange here. probably go back with a little bit darker. Yeah, I like to choose here as my being freaking out. My mom put me in art class, like in my hometown, and I started doing classes when I was like 9 years old, so I was one of the youngest. And then my professor, he was really like an older, really old guy, so it was really fun and interesting. I studied it on this school for about like 6 years, I think. So I learned everything from like drawing and watercolors and like oils, and that was it. And then I never thought about doing art classes as my major. I decided to do journalism. Don't ask me why. But I never thought I could be an artist. I don't know, like nobody told me, oh, you can be an artist. It was different than today, that you can see everything on social media, everything is so easy. So I just like graduated and studied, and I loved journalism. I worked in radio so many years. I really enjoyed interviewing people, and the art. Besides that, I was always doing paintings. And I remember when my dad, he's Italian, he's like, you need to find a job. When I was 16, and my brother and my sister worked with him. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So my mom would get me clients, like all her friends, so I could paint during the day and sell my painting. So my mom was always being very supportive. But anyway, I moved here, and then that's when I finally saw the opportunity. I was like, what am I doing with journalism since I can maybe like make some money with like art? So I did the Fiesta Hermosa out of like, just tried it out, and it was very positive feedback, and I was like, okay, so maybe I'll do that. But it wasn't as easy as it sounds. It took me like a lot of thinking and a lot of like courage to give up my whole 5 years of studies and like my whole life experience, and to start something new. That even though I paint my whole life, but I didn't know about art business. I didn't know about anything. I didn't know about business at all. So I think, and then once I finally got the decision made, it was like, just, now you gotta do it, you gotta do it. So yeah, as a professional artist, I think I've been painting for like 3 years now. Yeah, so I just really got inside all these books and trying to read as much as possible, and like the social media was there, so everything becomes easier because you have everything in hand. So it's just a matter of you wake up every day, it's like, no, that's what I'm gonna do it. I feel like I need this, and of course you fail and then you try it again, and nobody's perfect. That's just a path of life. But for me, I always try to do better. Like I always try to do the best that I can on that day. So if it's something that's not possible, I was just like, it's fine, you're gonna do the best that you can do today. And it's just, once you see it, and if you have that mindset of doing the best that you can, and it's just like there, and then you look back and you don't feel like that you are anywhere, you just feel like you're doing the best that you can. It's kind of funny, but people ask like, oh, how can you like leave? Like, congratulations that you leave as an artist. You can leave as an artist. It was like, but it's all like in you. It's all like your decision. Once you make the decision that you are an organ artist, and that's just gonna happen. You just open your eyes for all the possibilities that can knock your door. Something that if I have that mindset of like, but all artists like, don't succeed. And if I'm gonna have that mindset, I will never guess what's gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. So I feel like it's always, you have to control your thoughts, and once you have that vision that you know where you're gonna be at, or I think it's just easier to follow. It was a period of time when I first moved here that I got this studio. I was like, now I'm an artist. And I always tell like everybody, I'm an artist, but I wasn't painting because it wasn't my moment. I had that in mind that I was an artist, so I was like, what do you do? I'm an artist. I'm an artist, but I wasn't painting. But that mindset really helped me. Sometimes, maybe it was that transition still, but or it was just lack of ideas. I don't know. And then all of the sudden I see it was just painting all this colorful. It was just something explosive. It was like, oh wow, that's cool. So, and now I started painting all these colors, and now like it just started brightening and brightening. And then my mom was like, it's just all your paintings look like a rainbow now. And I was like, well, I don't know why it's coming this way, but it's just the colors of California skies are just like that. Because I learned like with my parents that you need like to, oh okay, you gotta make money. So I learned, I remember I started selling things like lemonade that people just to have that responsibility kind of. And then my mom, like all my family would always buy stuff on the holiday, so I always doing something. So that value of exchange, not even for the money, but exchange of your value, of your time, of your work to somebody that's getting it, to put it on their home and to look at that every day and be proud of it and to show off. And it's just like, dude, you see like the new painting I got? I think this feeling is like priceless. It's amazing for me through my own brushstroke. So that connection, it's really, really beautiful. I can do that for the rest of my life, I'm fine. Because I've been involved in art in so long, but I think the first artist for me that I looked at it and I was like, wow, I really love it, is Peter Max. He does all these really like colorful creations, and he was the first one that played this huge plane. When I saw his work, I was like, wow, look at all this pop-up colors, it's so beautiful. I think it was the first one that actually got me into it, that like all this colorful artwork too, and like very happy. And yeah, I think a lot of artists, Hawaiian artists, inspire me. He's a really good one, and he's all over now, and he's all inspires in the ocean. He's amazing. Romero Brito is a really good, he's a Brazilian artist. He's literally everywhere. He's everywhere. From his art, it's from a simple like cleaning label to like people's mansions. It's like so cool. Just gonna create some palm trees. So got that. I like to bring the first ground closer to its viewer. So for me, like if I add a little texture, kind of bring you closer, kind of have the feeling that that's like just a sense of perspective. Can go back on this, but I was just giving some idea already. I always start with the darker. Let's get bigger. Okay, that's the first. And you just keep coming back once you got this block, and then I'll go with a different brush, and it will get bigger eventually because I'll start just adding a few different colors. Put the light like reflecting here, so this whole side is gonna be like lighter. I feel like it's kind of like a pastels. I feel like my paintings are kind of dreamy. I will send a picture once it's all done.
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool. I think art is open possibilities. Art is you seeing a different world through different eyes. It gives you options. I think art gives you freedom. I think that's what art is for me. Art for me is everything. I can just, create every day and paint every day. But I think for art itself, it's just like it's a communication between your inside world and the outside. You know, it brings you new perspectives. It's so funny because I went through like so many phases in my life, and I did it so much, and now that I'm like finally like settled, like okay, that's what I'm gonna do and that's what it is. I feel art for me just saved my life. Not that I was like a weirdo or anything or going to the wrong directions, but I feel like what I was doing in my life without art. Like now I love everything about it. I love being prepared for art shows. I love meeting my clients. I love like talking to the other artists. I like to be like involved with the artist community. Everything is just makes so much sense for me right now. And it's art is where I find myself, and I discover every single day a different part of me.